Hi, this is Seek and Search, Hound Tour Medieval Village Part 2. So this is the large building that I was talking about in the previous village, large rectangular building. It's got a bit of an annex on the rear, and I mentioned this could be a church or some ecclesiastical structure. And as you go down here, you can clearly see, if you're talking about water and the need for water, you've got a clear roadway, flanked, curbs on the left, wall on the right, going down to the bottom of the valley, water, you've got trees, indicative of water. So as we start to go along here now, you can see more of the village towards the southerly direction, and then you've got towards the north, Dartmoor. And this building here, lots of these buildings around, and what you have a rectangular building, probably single story, and you've got this rectangular box at the back. And my interpretation of this is, if it's completely right or wrong, about the 1300, 700 years ago, because of the lack of timber, because large amount of felling, and if you look there, you've got a boundary wall of some description. What you've got, they've got lots of stone, and they're building all these villages out of stone. And think of the Hound of the Baskervilles and those types of scenic landscapes. It's Hound Tour up there, and let's ask where's the Iron Age and Bronze Age villages around here? Well, towards the south, beyond that tour, there's some remains of an Iron Age stone built village. So they probably utilised stone from the earlier villages to build the medieval village. It's quite a large village actually, probably a population of about 150. So one thing you can see about this building is these big boulders. One thing I explained to my students for Archaeology Cymru, by the way, this is KARL-JAMES, LANGFORD, I mentioned that you'd have used the large boulders first in the first stage of building. So this is one of the earlier buildings, a bit higher up than the ones a bit further down. And then in the other buildings you would have used next grader stones, and then you'd have had buildings made out of arrangement of smaller stones. That's if they weren't quarrying them, but it's easy just to build structures out of older buildings. And that interesting thing is that you've got on the right there, you've got a hole, and on the left here you've got another hole, and then you've got the entranceway. And my description is that this platform may have been used as a raised platform, like a byre that we see in other parts of the world. So what you'd have a rectangular building, you'd have a raised area, the animals would stay in this area, and there's the preparation work area, and then you'd sleep on a raised area. And this is what this looks like to me. This was away from the animals, this was raised off the ground, it's made out of stone instead of timber with space. And this is my translation of what's going on. So, again, back to Hound Tour. It's a place of lots of tourists coming here. Really nice place to be. This is September 2020. Over and out for Seek and Search.